The search engine Google is showing this doodle today, that is on June 28, 2021 in Canada, for celebrating Mary Two-Axe Earley. Mary Two-Axe Earley was a Canadian women's rights activist from the Mohawk Reserve of Kahnawake in Quebec, Canada. Mary Two-Axe Earley fought for over 2 decades against sex discrimination in the Indian Act, which stripped First Nations women of their Indian status if they married non-Indian men. On this day in 1985, nearly 2 decades after Mary began her fight against sex discrimination in the Indian Act, the Parliament of Canada passed Bill C-31, an amendment to restore Indian status to women who had lost it through marriage. Mary Two-Axe Earley was born on October 4, 1911 on the Kahnawake Reserve. At the age of 18, during a time of limited employment opportunities for people on reserves in Canada, she moved to New York, where she married an Irish-American engineer. Under the provisions of Canada's Indian Act, her marriage to a non-Indigenous man meant the loss of her Indian status. The Indian Act of 1876 defines who is an Indian and who can belong to an Indian band, now referred to as First Nations. The federal government targeted First Nations women, stripping them of their Indian status, that is, their recognition as an Indian, if they married a non-Indian man. These laws banned First Nations women and their children who lost their status from living in their communities, denying them access to critical social programs and voting rights in their community, and severing their ties to identity and culture. In 1966, after one of Two-Axe Earley's Mohawk clan sisters died in her arms of a heart attack, she became vocal about Indigenous women's rights. She firmly believed that stress was a contributing factor in her friend's death, since she had been denied property rights in Kahnawake under the Indian Act. Two-Axe Earley mobilized a series of speaking and writing campaigns to raise the profile of abuses faced by women who had been denied status, treaty and property rights under the Indian Act. In 1967, Two-Axe Earley founded the Equal Rights for the Indian Women organization. For decades, she fought for First Nations women's rights through associations, impassioned speeches, and letter campaigns. Her perseverance, along with the other First Nations women, paved the way for the 1985 repeal of Indian Act provisions, which restored Indian status to thousands of First Nations women. 1 week later, Two-Axe Earley became the first woman to have her Indian status reinstated. The bill was effective April 17, 1985, but the movement for sex equality continues today. In addition to an honorary doctorate and a position among the first members of the Order of Quebec, Two-Axe Earley received a National Aboriginal Achievement Award in 1996 for her lifetime devotion to human rights.